is Modest Mouse. A song called Bukowski. You like Modest Mouse?
I like what I've heard of Modest Mouse.
That's a cool song about Bukowski, the poet. It's a shuffle.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool little shuffle.
It's a cool shuffle.
I like it.
Modest Mouse. You don't know much about Modest Mouse?
Not too deep. I know the hits.
Man, there's some die-hard Modest Mousers.
Yeah.
I know some people that just, that's the greatest band ever.
Really?
Yeah, well, I mean, they have a definite guitar sound, a definite way of songwriting. Their lead guy, I think his name is Isaac Bruce. He's just a musical, just abyss. He just can do it. I think the guitar player from the Smiths maybe is now in Modest Mouse.
Okay.
They still play.
Yeah, I know a couple of the hits. That's about it.
They got some good stuff. My favorite album is The Moon in Antarctica. I can't remember what album this is on. This is Good Enough for Good People or something. I can't remember what album it's on. But it's good, Modest Mouse. Richard didn't know it.
Didn't know it. Stumped me. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Great Measures. My name is Richard. This is Judson.
Great Measures.
I'm going to do a new Lorna Shore song.
Wonderful.
It's a song called Unbreakable. I know how much you love Lorna Shore.
Not, I don't really love them.
I know you don't. We're gonna make you love them at some point, though. So this is the second. I believe it's the second single from their upcoming album, called "I Feel the Ever Black Festering Within Me."
That's the name of the album?
I think that's what it is. I feel the ever black festering within. I think that's it. I could be wrong.
You could have made up
I could have.
anything.
So the song's called Unbreakable. The album comes out September the 12th of 2025. So.
Okay. Well, let's listen to this
Let's
stuff.
do it.
Then.
Gotcha. All right, this is Unbreakable by Lorna Shore. You ready?
Proceed, Richard. What do you think about the song, Richard?
I'm a fan, and it's the reasoning behind that. You know, their last album was massive. It was a hit, but my only knock on it was the production seemed a little muddled and out of balance as far as the instruments being separated enough to be able to decipher what's actually going on. I think the production in this one is a lot more clear. And the reason I wanted to show you this one is because it's a little bit of a separation from what we've heard in the past as far as the pace of it, the time of, you know, it's got some more halftime stuff that we haven't really heard from them on this channel in the past, you know. Everything is pretty much blast beats and double bass, and
there was a lot of that in this.
there was, but it was still not quite as much, I think, as we have heard.
I like that riff.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that attracts me to them, or attracts my ear to them, is their ability to have those theatrical sounding melodies.
It's a cool effect on his guitar too, whatever he's doing. Doesn't sound like
He's just like they call it a whammy flutter, and he's
No. I mean the tone, the actual tone he's using.
the tone.
It sounds like a synthesizer in the beginning.
Oh yeah.
So he's got whatever pedal he's using is cool, and he just does that throughout, which I think is cool. That's the Pied Piper hypnotic thing you gotta do sometimes. It gets people, you know. But it was an easy listen for me.
That's why I wanted to introduce this one.
I mean, is the other song like this?
No, it's more.
This sounds like a hit. This sounds like a hit. Like they're like, make something that will be a hit.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because it's the chorus is real hooky. You know. And isn't it a little out of character for deathcore to be singing "We Are Unbreakable"? Wouldn't then deathcore like, "We are completely breakable and we're dead"?
No, I mean there are bands out there who will insert some positive messaging. It's not often.
Well, I thought deathcore was about death.
I mean, not always. No, it can be. I mean,
Then it's not deathcore.
it can be about anything. But
Deathcore?
yeah, deathcore is more. It's more about the musical elements than the lyrical content.
Well, the lyrical content has. I mean,
It doesn't hurt.
there's nothing. If I were just to listen to this song without knowing the genre that it's in, I wouldn't hear from the musical formulaic composition that I'd be like, that sounds like death. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I'm just kind of messing around because it is a positive message, but I just haven't really heard that really with Lorna Shore.
Yeah.
I can't remember how much other deathcore we've done, but I would be willing to bet that the lyrical content is not a bright side thing.
Yeah, and you know, the last album was darker from a lyrical standpoint and a wording standpoint, but it was called Pain Remains.
What's the name of this album again?
So this one is called I Feel the Ever-Black Festering Within Me, which doesn't really play
Unbreakable?
into being unbreakable.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I mean, it was a breath of fresh air for me. I like the idea of doing certain things, maybe playing a song that's bluegrass sounding, upbeat, and you're singing about something tragic.
Sure.
Or playing what sounds like sad music and singing something happy. That's always a fun thing to do. Not saying that they necessarily did this, but like that, as much as I was just expecting to hear, you know, I'm on my way to death in a core way. But it wasn't. It was more, I could understand that a lot. Actually, I could understand a little more of the lyrics than I have been before with him. And you know, the little mini breakdown thing in there is cool. Sometimes it with theirs I get lost when they first drop into it. You don't know where they're gonna do, you know, where they're gonna hit the beat.
Yeah.
And they kind of leave you in this space. I kind of like that. I kind of like they just kind of throw you out into the abyss a little bit.
Yeah, that was, I mean, there were a lot of different qualities of this song that I thought, you know what? This might be one that Judson actually appreciates.
I didn't hate it at all.
Yeah. And one of those qualities was a little bit of a shorter breakdown. Yes, it was more abrupt, and yes, it was kind of out of left field, and yes, you are searching for where the beat is, but it doesn't just drag out and slow down and drag out. You know what I mean? It just kind of, here's this, all right, let's get back to the melody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it seems like a good representation of what deathcore is, doesn't it? Isn't this
Yeah,
song?
it's a pretty good representation of modern deathcore for sure.
I just feel so bad for the drummers. It just seems like they don't get a break, man.
No breaks.
Just all the time hitting, you know,
Yeah, I don't know
and having to do fills in between there too. And then the next song, and then the next song, and then the next song. I think that's one of my only real criticisms of some of the metal music all the way around, is that you don't have room for deviation. Maybe you don't want it, I don't know. But you know, you listen to some other bands like Prince or whoever else. Prince plays the funk, and they play something beautiful, and they play something mean, and whatever you want to call his genre of music, it just seems like metal gets so specific that every song has to be, they're not going to play a slow song, you know, necessarily, like a soft song or a love song or you know, I mean, they can sort of infuse some elements here and there, but I think that's been I like to hear a variety of different moods as I go through, you know? Mm-hmm. And that's just what I was sitting here thinking, like, this is a little more of sounds anthemic, where everybody could scream the vocals, you know, or say the word. And that it's just not. It allows the song to soften a little bit.
Yeah, the first time I heard it, the word that came to mind was theatrical. It was just, it has the movement of a movie or a film, whatever you want to call it. But it's that one theme throughout the whole song, but there's different pieces, but they keep coming back to that one theme.
Yeah, I like that. So this song, to me, this would seem like the love song that Lorna Shore would put in their set, you know? It's easier to listen to.
Yeah.
It allows you to, I don't know if I saw so much, everybody was hyping the video. I would be more, after hearing some stuff they might have played in the show before that, yeah, I might have been more inclined to just be like, oh, this is the easygoing song.
Nice change of pace.
This is a radio cut, you know? But they were always hype. But, yeah, I didn't hate it.
I didn't figure you would.
I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I kind of felt like you would enjoy this one a little more than others in the past.
Yeah, the guitar player is a beast.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they obviously have they found a formula.
Oh yeah.
And it sounds like them, for sure. I'm surprised as an old get off my lawn metal fan that you even like deathcore. Don't they usually knock on this?
Yeah, the older crowd will for sure. But you know, deathcore was really coming out as I was
of MySpace.
Yeah.
MySpace created deathcore.
Who knows? Old Tom.
Thanks,
Wasn't his name Tom? Yeah, deathcore. You know, I had done the thrash thing when I first got into metal, and then deathcore was kind of that next step in the progression, and it came out at the right time for me. You know, it came out when I was.
You went from thrash to deathcore?
Well, no, there was metalcore in there in between. Metalcore was kind of the bridge between the two. I don't know. I would have to sit down and really think about how that progression actually went, but
because that's a jump.
yeah, from thrash straight to deathcore, absolutely. If you've got metalcore as the bridge in there, it's a pretty natural progression. But yeah, it just came out at the right time, and I wasn't really looking for it. You know, my youngest brother actually introduced me to a couple of deathcore bands that kind of got the ball rolling for me, that made me go searching for more.
Cool.
And I don't know if I'm 100% excited about the direction of deathcore and where it's landed as of right now. Like I said, I like this song. I like what the new album that Shadow of Intent just released. And I probably haven't, you know, to be honest, I probably haven't listened to enough deathcore lately to even be able to say that. But there's some certain things that I have heard that I'm like, I wish that.
You don't like anything. You don't like anything of what's coming out new, do you? Richard doesn't like anything about new metal.
No, there's some good stuff. It's just, in my opinion, it's hard to find, unless you're already a fan of that band and you're just going to like them no matter what they do. You know, if it's a band that I just found that just came out with something and they stand out to me, that means something to me. But even some of these bands that I've listened to like I've worn the hoodie on the channel quite a few times, but Cryptopsy. Those guys have been around technically since 1988, and they are as technical and as brutal as any band on the planet. And you think that sometimes these bands, when they reach their prime, and I know this really has nothing to do with Lorna Shore, but they reach their prime. This is more about new releases and new music. You think they just kind of settle into this little comfort zone and they just do this thing and they don't really, but Cryptopsy's new album absolutely leveled me. I mean, it was one of those that it's like, wow, okay, these guys are, you know, probably in their 50s and they're just as fast as this.
They're deathcore?
They kind of get lumped into the technical, brutal death metal. I wouldn't really call them deathcore by any means.
Technical, brutal death metal.
Yeah. You know how these subgenres go.
I don't. That's the thing. I don't know all the way, and I just.
Or TBDM, as we like to abbreviate it.
People just TBDM.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's what that means.
Well, it's either technical brutal death metal, or it's the Black Dahlia. No, it's.
I keep getting Black Dahlia Murder.
Black Dahlia Murder, yeah.
Oh. Okay. See. Whatever. Just so many different things.
Wow, where have you seen TBDM?
A lot of places. It could have been Black Dahlia Murder. It could have been this. I mean, comments. I read so many metal people's comments nowadays. It could be an insult at me for all I know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. A lot of stuff. Well, Cryptopsy. It's a weird name. Right? Am I saying that right?
I say it cryptopsy, yeah.
Cryptopsy.
I guess it's an autopsy of a crypt. I don't know. Got anything else? Thanks for watching, everybody. We are Great Measures. My name is Richard. This is Judson. That was Unbreakable by Lorna Shore.
Great Measures.
Have a wonderful day, everybody.